again. Make sure you get that top northwestern corner right there. That's what we want to look at. We want to see what's over there. Where did they go?
Say the Fort. Hold on. I got a better. It's a better one in here. Oh, it's a better one. It's right here. Not the Louisiana Purchase. No, I'll go back right here. All right, they went to Fort Chastop.
I can't see it clear enough.
Yeah.
But I can see the fort part.
Yeah, it say Fort. I don't know if that's a T or L. It says Fort Chastop. And the Nez Percy tribe. I heard of that tribe. The Blackfoot. It says Blackfoot, Shoshone, Nez Percy, Fort Mandan. That's over here, right here.
All these are showing the people they interacted with when they stopped, where they met them at. These was already settled lands because everywhere they stepping at, it's a tribal village. Right? That's why they know who is the Sioux, who is the Floyd, right? Who is St. Charles? Well, who do they run into in St. Charles? All of these is settlements. All right. Now, the natural land barrier was the Appalachians on the east, which would have been in the area that's pink. In the United States at the time wasn't that big. It was only the original 13 colonies. Right? And the French was losing the war to the indigenous people, and they sold the protectorate agreement with the Port of New Orleans to the incoming legal fiction or bankers called the United States Court.
Okay.
All right. So from here, we need to know when they looking at the land, what are they looking to see? Who live in the castle?
Yeah, who live in the castle?
So a lot of people don't know there's castles on this land. So we're going to run them videos so they can see some of the castles. Okay, and then we're going to go over what they did with them.
All right, I got you.
You can watch much of each one of them as you want to. I think the longest one is like 10 minutes. Okay, something like that.
We got you.
But I want them to see that it's castles over here that's been here the whole time.
Yeah, and who built these castles? Hey, who built the castles, Brother Rod?
Who been here the whole time?
We were.
Exactly. So you got to remember, they doing the land survey. What is they surveying the land for?
To steal it?
Look, George Washington said that when they came across the land, there was people that was rulers, but they didn't rule over nobody.
What? Go ahead.
Right? So they had to, somebody got to be the subject. Right? Well, if you got a subject, you know you're going to need a predicate. Right? Noun and a pronoun, an adjective and the verb. We're going to put the whole sentence structure out there. Right? So the sentence is they was searching the land to see who was living in these elaborate places right here. This is real critical to understand, and this is why it's critical for us to go over these videos. See if you can make it full screen so they can really get good look. One monkey don't stop no show. So we're going to get back into this because I still got to go. I have to show y'all why the sign that I was told to read the snake, the sign I was told to read the eagle, and the sign I was told to read the bear. They all came to me right before I went live sometime yesterday. All this information came in. This is all new information I had to read as the signs came in. So I'm gonna do a couple more. I'm not gonna do as many invites this time because they know I'm on air. Okay, so now we go through here, and You go through here, and I go back to this other phone. Now the other phone got a lot of got some pictures in it I want to go over because I got to show y'all the signs I read. Now y'all seen the y'all seen how I end up moving out of the ethers. I showed y'all that. I told y'all I was going to show y'all that yesterday. Now you understand why the ethers aren't visible as they were. Why you can't see the angelic beings and we passed that. We on another level. All right. So now I'm gonna flip my camera again. This came to me in my messenger yesterday. Young lady sent this to me. Now the symbolism for this, if you see those wings, that's telling me I have to tie the eagle in. Now the RH negative on the onyx background is telling me APEP, RH negative, which is the serpent. Now I have to show what the serpent is, right? So now I have to show the connection between the serpent blood or the serpent strain, APOP, chaos. The chaos being ties me back to the Queen Mother in the 13th seat through the house of Hathor. Remember I showed y'all the gates. Through the house of Hathor and the RH negative blood, this gives me access to the bikers. This gives me access to the biker gangs, what we call them Hell's Angels. All bikers, no matter what their club is, in the heavens are known as Hell's Angels. Do ride the iron horse. Now, if you look in Revelations, you will see they ride. They say that it was like like iron horses was riding in the street. Those motorcycles. That's Hell's Angels we talking about. So the shield, right? The shield represents the royal families, the royal crest or the royal shield. And it also represents the warrior clan. Now, when we talk warrior clan, Red Lodge, we think Chief Malik. Chief Malik Angel Bey, who was in charge of the Mufti. He's the military guard. So now that's how, all this is telling me Red Lodge. The Red Lodge is telling me there's some unfinished business. The Blue Lodge is complete. Now I have to get her out of the Red Lodge. Well, I did that last night, but these just some loose ends I'm tying up to show y'all. Okay, now, before I go there, I want to go back. I want to go back to the part where nope, it's not here. Oh, I remember. Portia. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, Portia sent me 4 pictures. The first 2 was 2 downward triangles. The first 2 was 2 downward triangles. They were incomplete. That's the descent of the woman. Now she had to send me the ascent of the man, but she can't do it because I got to make a connection. Now, if I go to her messenger to show you what I'm talking about, matter of fact, I should just let her send. But she sent, so I had to have a conversation with her because she got to give me 3 knocks. She got to give me 3 knocks to allow me through the gate of Hathor. And now, how did I know it was her? Go back to her post. Go back to Portia's post. And matter of fact, Portia, can you tag that post where you posted those pictures of the cows in your yard while I was on the phone with you? Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs. That's all this is. Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs in order to find our way back home. Right? Now, we had a lot of people doing a lot of work. And sometimes, you don't always see it for what it is. So, I can't miss nothing. I can't miss nothing. I'm not allowed to miss nothing. Alright, so here as I go down, she sent me, now watch this, y'all. I'm going to flip the camera so y'all can see. Jay-Z. What do this tell me? Now you see that 7 on Jay-Z's shirt? What do this say? Expect heavy information on this ritual that went down. You'll find the breakdown this weekend on YouTube channel. That's whoever posted this said that. I didn't say that. Ani Asaru said that. Now look at here. This is Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick. Now I had to look his name up. His last name is an acronym. I'm not going to get into that right now because I don't have the information accessible fast enough to make this video flow. But then she sent me this symbol. Now you see the downward pyramid. Now we are approaching the gate of Hathor. But she got to send me at least one more downward pyramid. And watch this. Okay, now I'm telling her she got some more work to do. Watch this. I told her go over yesterday, and this is what she responded. Now remember, and a blue star and a red star, two becomes one in sacred union of heaven and earth. What mystics terms calling down heaven or calling heaven and earth, if you grasp that concept, as above, so below. Now, watch. The fire and the water, the earth and the air. Where's the fifth element? Remember the key in the chest. Love. Remember the movie Fifth Element. Ether is materialized akasha, subtle body vibrating at a different rate. Akasha is pure manifestation power as seen, which can only be actualized by harmonious male-female synthesis in 3D reality. Now, this is what she sent back that I had put in a comment on one of her posts, but it didn't have nothing to do. Initially, I didn't think it had anything to do with anything, but then I went back and I reread it. So this is telling me the two becomes one. Now she's sending me the downward triangle as we go down, and then I showed her that, and we kept going. Go do your homework. I have one more photo to locate. Now we going. Oh, no, wait. Okay, so now this is what told me that she had to give me the 3 knots. When this came in, behind that. Now, later on, in the course of her, I needed the right side up here triangles. And in this picture, look, right side up triangle. But I still need one more to match the other downward triangle. Because remember, we had to have 4 of them. Watch. You see it? Now, while she was doing this on the conscious level, she has no freaking clue what she's doing. This same picture right here, I sent to her a while ago. The difference was the 2 hands that now holds this triangle was palms open over the face. These eyes were in the palm. So now this is showing me the progress of the man. Whatever I did made her have to uncover her eyes. Now go back to the scales of justice for the United States judicial system, and she have the scales. The lady justice was blindfolded. Now remember, she had to take her hands from her eyes, but her eyes are not on her face; they're over her shoulders. That's the dark mother watching over the daughter as she proceeds to us sin. Right? Now you remember the apple. Now that's Snow White. Bit the apple. Remember Eve, the forbidden fruit? The forbidden fruit was connecting the love and the intellect, the heart and the mind. That's the real forbidden fruit because that's the key to eternal life. Right? Now, then, coming to find out, here's the knot. This is the knot that ties her into her father being a traveling man, right? She's a former biker. So she got to tie me back into the biker through the Masonic Lodge, which was her father, right? So this is the house of Hathor. This is the final gate. This is the final gate. Look at her. You see her? You see it? This is the Kali form right here. This Kali. When she get to go to work, now look who she with. She with the lioness. She's with the lion. Remember? She had to take the sword to cut off the leg, right? Then the imposter who had severed her head, now she had to reveal the imposter. That means she had to take his head. But it required the wisdom. See the serpent? It required the wisdom. I'm reading this shit for y'all right here. Now, look. An open hand. It's a right hand. This is a 5. 5-pointed star. Islam more. Remember, Islam more. Okay, now watch this. Here, she holds the cup. Lest my cup overflow. Right? This is another weapon of war in her left hand. Then she have the open hand outstretched. That's acceptance. Come on this way. This is through the gate. Now look what happened. Kali turned into a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-pointed star. Why? Because the 8 represents the woman. The 8 represents the woman, but not just the regular. That's the young maiden or the princess about to be the queen. When you see Kali standing in front of it, this is her transitional form. This is her, what they call resurrection form. In symbolism. In symbolism. Right? So now, let's go back. We got some more going back to do, so. All these different signs had to be met in order to read everything exactly for what it was. So then what's next? What's next? All right, now, I got to tie all this shit together. That's what's next. What did I miss so far that they think I overlooked, that I didn't make a solid connection on? During my barrister discourse, in reviewing the R. Kelly case, and those who was trumping up the charges against R. Kelly, I had to find out if they was making it up or if it was true, and if they was making it up, what course of action. No, the physical is not more powerful than the spiritual. I could not believe this stuff is crazy. But anyway, so how do I analyze the R. Kelly case, the Bill Cosby case, and how do I tie in to what looked far-fetched as in RICO, right? Now, in the R. Kelly case, they said that R. Kelly's camp was transporting minors across state lines for illicit sexual purpose, and nobody understands how RICO Act applies to that. The RICO Act applies to that through the Dr. Malachi Z. York case. It's the exact same thing. They saying that Dr. Malachi Z. York was transporting minors across the state line for sexual purposes, but here's the kicker. That's not what he in there for. He in there for racketeering and corrupt organizations. The corrupt organization was supposed to be the sex trafficking ring, right? It was all false. It's a mirror. It's the mirror to show me how to analyze R. Kelly. Now, what about Bill Cosby? Bill Cosby is fabricated. Bill Cosby case is predicated upon false witnesses. The girls are reading from a script. When you go back to the documentary and watch the panel, there's key things that every one of them will say that's exactly the same word for word. Impossible. No two people on earth go through the same experience on their own that's not together and will repeat the same story word for word. Bill Cosby's hoax is revealed. R. Kelly's hoax is revealed. The RICO Act applies the same way it applied to Malachi. So if you want to know how the RICO Act applied to those people fabricating that case, they were the ones trying to feed the babies to R. Kelly and trying to force them little kids up on him. And he tried to run from it to the point where he shut down. He stopped performing, stopped producing music and everything to try to avoid the trap that was being laid for him. So the people that was actually doing the transporting of the minors to try to get at his money are the actual guilty parties. And the RICO Act is predicated upon the corruption in the corporation, the organization they created to entrap R. Kelly. What do I mean by that? When a group of people come together to the detriment of an individual, that's called conspiracy, and it's 5 elements. A corrupt organization is an organization that operates from an illegal standpoint. So RICO, racketeering, is the running of a corrupt organization. Racketeering and corrupt organization is when the corruption in the organization is exposed. The racketeering is revealed, as in the case of R. Kelly with the sex case. When the racketeering is revealed, at that point, everybody involved that can be charged with a conspiracy can lose all personal assets under RICO. RICO can be implemented as civil or as criminal. But the barristers don't understand how I came to the conclusion that R. Kelly's case can be retaliated with using RICO. The RICO Act, the conspiracy, and the perjury, and fabricating of evidence, and coercion of witnesses. All of those things come together to perform a corrupt organization. The ringleader is the one who organized this shit to bring R. Kelly down, right? So if they organized it to bring R. Kelly down, how do we show that they did it? It's in the evidence is there. All of the evidence is visible. Ain't none of it a secret. None of this stuff been secret from us. But what they do is they'll print a story and leave it to your imagination to run wild instead of tell you the truth. They'll only tell you enough to make your imagination run wild. Bill Cosby was in a fight for NBC for many years. It's verifiable information. Anybody with 2 drops of common sense can look it up. In the fight for NBC, right, he lost his son. He was accused of fathering some crazy little girl outside of his marriage, and he gave her a whole bunch of money to get the fuck out of his life. All kind of stuff was launched against Bill Cosby in the business arena that you don't know about to stop him from owning NBC. They never want us, rightful heirs to the throne, to inherit any positions of power in media, politics, military, science, technology, any other great fields of the world that covers all 10 areas of people activity. Dr. Neely Fuller gave us 9. I add health to make it 10 because health needs its own category. Health is the string by which the other 9 areas of people activity is hinged. What are they? Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. All 9 areas must be controlled. Who's controlling them and how? Go to the protocols of the wise man of Zion. That's your mirror. Everything Neely Fuller tell you is a thing that white supremacy